Hi everyone, so this is my first video on the YouTube channel. It's December 31st 2005, so New Year's Eve. Just heading out to do 3 jobs this morning. So the first one's a turtle tank, and then we're going to see a new tank that I'm looking after in the new year for holiday cover, so I'll be able to go through some bits and pieces with that. And then my last job of the day is a marine tank that's set up a few months ago, initially for a university project, which has now been tweaked and changed. So come along with me today. I'll give you a bit of a vlog style introduction to aquarium maintenance and MB Aquariums and what I do for a living. Nice cold start to the last day of this year, -1, so just defrosted the windscreen, and we'll get cracking on this beautiful, lovely day that we've got here in Berkshire. So that's my van just talking to itself. So I'm at the first job of the day. So this is the turtle tank, so a little bit of history, and then when I go in I'll try and film some bits and pieces, but obviously I need my hands quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit in the van. So yeah, this tank I set up 18 months ago. It already had turtles in a previous tank. The customer had bought a new tank, wanted me to aquascape it. So the aquascape was a combination of his and my idea, and then we put it all together and yeah, set it up 18 months ago for the 2 turtles. There are a few fish in there, although they tend to hide quite a lot in the rockwork. There some zebraplex, etc., so freshwater fish. Don't see them that often because they're hiding from the turtles and they're nocturnal anyway. So yeah, generally I come here every week, do 50 litre water change, and leave them a barrel of 25 litres of RO. It's RODI with minerals in it. So yeah, do that every week, and then about every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on my schedule, I'll completely strip down the filter, clean it out, and replace the carbon that's in there to keep the water nice and clean. And do that. So it's got an FX6 on it, I believe. It's 4 or 6, pretty sure it's a 6. So well oversized for the tank, but that's great with turtles who are messy beasts anyway. So I always pull the water out through, pull 1 barrel out through the filter and put 2 barrels in through it, so that gives it a good flush anyway. And I always do a siphon of a barrel as well. So yeah, as I say, I'll try and do some filming in there. I haven't spoken to them about it, so I'll need to just get their permission to make sure they're happy, and then I will bring you back in here and we'll have a little chat about what I did and how it's going before I move on to the next job. All right, see you in a bit. So just walked in, so just after Christmas, so there were some big Santa decorations in here, so haven't had the opportunity to clean the tank as nicely as I'd like. So as you can see, glass is a little bit dirtier, got some reflections going on as well. This is one of the turtles. Occasionally they get into this position, they can get themselves out, but I will make sure that I move them around a little bit. So we've got a heat lamp at this end. Water level is also a little bit low, so I put this mark on here to make sure that we got a good water level. So it does run a little bit low occasionally, especially when the guys are in here, because this is in an estate agency, so it's really busy. So I'll make sure I clean it up, and we will get you a view of what it looks like afterwards. All right. Time to save this guy from his watery trap. So they occasionally get over this side. Not the biggest brains in the animal kingdom, but at least I was able to get this guy out, even if he's able to do it himself. And he was able to escape to freedom as he legged it down the end of the tank, as you'll see. So because the water level's quite low today, I'm going to put a barrel in before I take 2 barrels out. So I'll probably lose about 10% of this water, but for me that's better to have that water level a bit higher. It means filter can keep running throughout the water change and the siphoning, and I'm not going to end up with too little water in here. So as I said in the van, this is an FX6. The FX6s are great pieces of kit because you can do your water change through this valve here. So I'm going to try and show you guys how this works. So putting the pipework into the barrel of new water, you've then got the in and the out through the top. So we can open this bottom valve, and then if we close the in valve, it will now pull water from the barrel at quite a decent rate. And now that's going into the tank through the out nozzle. And then once that's empty, we just reverse the situation. So we open up the in and then close off that valve, and then we can
yeah, we can top up the tank through this. FX6s, you just do the opposite as well to do your water change, take the water out, which I'll show you in a bit. But the FX6s are great filters for water changes, makes life so easy. You can do it to a barrel, to a drain if you're doing water out as well. It's a great piece of kit. I tend to do it to about this line, just gives me a little bit of leeway, stops me putting too much air into the filter. So we'll let that go down. And then once we get to that level, we simply do the opposite. So we turn this valve and then close this one off. And that will give us a little bit of water left in there. And then we can take this pipe out, pour that water in by hand because it's only 500 millilitres, something like that. And now you can see that water level's a bit higher. So when I take some water out, when I'm siphoning off all the dirt, I have started to clean the glass. And as you saw in that little clip, I've also managed to free this guy. So we've got now two turtles swimming around, but I will siphon out sort of all this turtle waste and fish waste as well into a barrel. And I'll try and show you that if I get the opportunity. All right. Do love a good siphon to get rid of all the junk in this corner. As I say previously, I do this every week, but Christmas decorations have been up in this building for about a month, so this has got pretty mucky around the back. So just reaching down and grabbing all those little bits and pieces, and just a little dead spot. Although this is by the intake, always get a little bit to try to build up round here, so I always tend to just give it a good siphon. So that's one siphon barrel, and this barrel we're going to fill up in the opposite way. So again, I'll show you quickly how that works. So turn that valve again, and then this time instead of closing the in, we close the out, and then that will just start filling up the barrel. And again, good way just to flush through the filters every week that I do this. So siphon one out, and you can see that water level's gone back down again. Siphon one out manually, and then siphon one through this tube, and then the return process is nice and simple as well. So again, just the opposite, so I don't need to show you that again. So next thing we need to do is put some water back in, or get rid of this and then put some water back in. So I'll be back. So during the winter, these barrels just go straight down the drain. In the summer, I've got an olive tree at the front of the house, and one of them goes back and goes on that if I can organise everything correctly. So again, if you're doing your water changes during the summer and you want to reuse some of that water, I definitely recommend houseplants or plants in the garden. Definitely don't waste the water, but during the winter, when it looks like this around here, there's no need for this to go anywhere else. And also I'm at a business, so it's a bit different. Alright, let's get to it. So we're now going to add these 2 new barrels of RODI with Reef minerals back in. So again, we'll close the in, and then this will just put that water level back up to where it was. This makes water changes so quick, so effective, and so efficient. Nice and easy. So things left to do: get these this 50 litres back in, check the water levels at a decent height. If I need to, I'll add a little bit of the spare water, so I always leave them with a barrel so they can top it up as evaporation happens. And then we'll just make sure that the top of the glass isn't scum lines, all nice and clean, and we'll get rid of all this condensation and clean the outside of the glass. So almost done. So yeah, as I say, I recommend the FX6s, massively useful and really quick for water changes. So definitely get them if you've got a tropical tank. So these white melamine sponges that haven't got any fragrance or haven't got anything else in them are just epic for this sort of thing. Just perfect for that scum line. So I'm not sure if you can see this. There we go. So satisfying. So there we go, all clean.
all sorted with that tank, so nice and clean now. Topped it up, so it was running a little bit low and a bit dirty, but that's to be expected in a business. They've got other priorities, obviously, so that's why I come in here every week. So yeah, that's good. Any questions, chuck them in the comments below. Be happy to answer any of them. I'll be directly in there. So yeah, do let me know if you've got any questions on that one. So next tank's about 15-20 minutes away, so I'll be back with you then. Saltwater aquarium. I've done some virtual visits on this, but it's my first time actually seeing the aquarium. So yeah, we'll speak to the owners and I'll see if I can get something recorded for you guys as we chat and go through bits and pieces there. But this is a pre-holiday visit, so I'm going to be over there a few times looking after this tank whilst they're away for 10 days or so. All right, catch you on the other side. So just finished with that marine tank, so I'll put some video of it up here and maybe loop it a few times just as I'm chatting. So good tank. It's been running about 8-10 months, so quite new still. Needed to adjust a few things. They'd had a new jar flow wave maker, so I adjusted that. Also turned down their lights a bit, as it's an LPS softy tank, so I turned their lights down. They were hitting like 220 par at the top, which we measured, and we got it down to about 160, so still a little bit on the high side for LPS, but quite happy that we dropped it down. And one of the gonnies even looked a little bit happier, and just got an idea of what their tank's looking like for the holiday visits. So follow along with the YouTube channel and you'll see that for my holiday visits that I do sort of in the next week or two, and we'll crack on with that. So off to the next marine tank. So this is a low slung custom tank that was originally set up for a university project, but that's been tweaked a little bit. So we've now starting to turn it into a softy tank. So running quite well. I'll take a couple of videos whilst I'm there and do these sort of catch-ups as well. So last tank of the year, all done and completed. Didn't do a before video because got here and jumped straight into it, but I'll put some b-roll of what I did at the tank. So this customer's doing a marine biology degree, so I was helping him set up his tank. We've now changed it, so we've got a second tank running that I didn't actually show in this video, but will be on future videos, I'm sure. So we've set this up as a bit of a softy dominated tank with a few fish and inverts in there. Really simple setup. It's just got a filter sock with some filter floss that we change regularly, and then probably once a month look at changing the sock out. So that's what I did today. So changed the sock and the filter floss, cleaned out the skimmer, topped up the RO, did some testing, so I'll show you that. Runs quite high nutrients, but my view on that is balance is more important, so both nitrates and phosphates are high. Everything's happy. It's a it's predominantly a softy dominated tank, so those sort of corals like that. So that's where we are with the tank. Did the water change, 25 litres we do all the time. Got it set back up. I think that was about it. So yeah, it's running really well. Cracking on. So I'll keep you updated on all the tanks featured today. I'll keep you updated over the next few weeks, and as I go through, we'll try and make sure we're always videoing these. So if you've got any questions, comments, let me know down below. Make sure you like and subscribe the video if it was helpful or you found it interesting. And if you're in the Berkshire area and you're looking for any aquarium maintenance, whether that's installation, design, consultations, or maintenance and holiday cover as well, then give me a shout, and all my details are in the box below. And as I say, do let me know. Apart from that, ladies and gents, been great to have you along on my first video, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.